So I took this bike for a ride today. I wanted to. I suppose I should explain to you first that for some reason my microphone wasn't working today on the device. I don't know why. I wish I knew. I think it must have died. It was just a cheap microphone, so I was pretty disappointed that you couldn't hear me while I was doing all this interesting talking and things like that. But I guess it is what it is. The video is quite cool. So I took this Can-Am for a ride today because the whole point was to bring it back up to our place so my wife could have a go, because she's the one that's really quite interested in this. I was interested too, but this really is for her. So I went down to TSS Red Baron in Lower Hutt to ride the demo, and as it happened that they had this red one that had just been turned in, and a guy had bought a newer version. Now, the red one that I'm sitting on is a manual. The green one that Stu, the owner of TSS Motorcycles, is on is a semi-automatic. So it's a paddle shifter up, and then you don't have to shift going down. Just slow, you just put on the brakes and away you go. So we went through a good 15, 20 minutes or so of this is how it works, this is how the bike reacts, this is what it does when you take a corner. It had me go up and down the road several times, practice braking and practice turning, and just trying to get a feel for what it would do on the open road. And it was quite good. They do that with everybody because it's a quite a different machine, especially for someone who's ridden bikes their whole lives. He kept saying it acts more like a quad bike, and he's absolutely right. It acts much more like a quad machine than it does a motorcycle or a car or anything else. Now, I made the mistake of sitting back quite far in the seat and leaning forward so that I was off balance when I was trying to turn. The whole point here that I found worked was to sit very far forward. Sit like you're on a dual sport bike, so you're upright, you're quite far forward, so you don't have to reach to turn. That once I got that down, everything seemed to come right with the bike. I was quite uncomfortable from here up for the next several minutes. I just couldn't get the hang of turning and leaning and non-leaning and things like that. It's just I was not a happy guy. But once I got to the point where I scooted forward, up next to the tank, sat in more of an upright position, didn't have to lean, which means if I was leaning, it means I was reaching as well, which means, well, it's just the other way around. If I was reaching, it means I was leaning in the direction in which I was reaching. So I was completely off balance in a lot of these turns. It was quite uncomfortable. Once I cinched forward and got my body position right, it all just came right. It was fantastic, and it was a lot of fun, and I found myself grinning from ear to ear. Later in the video, we were doing some twisty stuff once I got the hang of it. Up in a place called Mungaraki. We went and did some nice roads up there. And Stu says he doesn't normally go out for rides with people. So maybe he's just trying to get me to buy one. I don't know, but it was quite good fun, and I was really pleasantly surprised that it was so much fun to ride. It's not a performance machine by any stretch of the imagination. It's a cruiser. It's a touring machine. These things you could ride all day long and never get tired. It's just they've got the power to pass vehicles, which is what the majority of what you'd be doing in New Zealand. If you're on the open roads, it's the single line highway each way. Good power, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.2 seconds, which is fantastic. It's really, really quick. This is one of these coming up these corners were some of my worst corners. I wasn't quite getting the hang of it. But it's really good fun. The one that I'm riding is actually a manual. You can see I oversteered. I mean, understeered incredibly bad through that corner. So mine is a full manual. His is a semi-automatic. All you have to do is shift up. And it's a little paddle shifter. There is no front brake. So it's what's called assisted braking. So you just have the right hand brake on a normal bike, where it'd be the rear brake. It's assisted braking, so it's front and rear brake, and they stop quite good. It's anti-lock brakes, so you can really jam on the anchors. And at some point, he shows me what the green one will do, and it's quite impressive. It stops really quickly. So these bikes come with anti-lock brakes. They come with. They also come with. So I just cut out a bit of just stuff we're just sitting around yakking away, which is pretty, pretty boring for you. Anti-lock brakes, anti. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. The stability control. They also come with what's called they come with an anti sort of tipping device, so that if one of the wheels does lift up by 5 or 6 degrees, it'll kill traction. It'll kill power to the back wheel, so that it'll bring that wheel back down, and you'll regain control of the motorcycle. I didn't obviously test this because it's not my bike, so I didn't really push very hard. I'm just trying to get used to it. But we're just about to go up to the main highway here to get on State Highway 1, and I stall it in the middle of heavy traffic. And so there's a whole bunch of people behind me going, "What the hell is he doing?" I don't know what happened. I stalled it and then I panicked, and I tried to, give it a bit of gas and start at the same time, which is completely the wrong thing to do when you are on a fuel-injected device, vehicle. You just want to apply the start button, and then you would be you'd be fine. Stu does a nice little burnout right here. I don't know if you can see it, but he leaves a bit of a mark. I think, and then here's where I stall it. Blah. It just died, and you can see me trying to twist the handle and start at the same time, which is wrong. I panicked. I got to go in here after a couple of seconds, and we just carried on up into the hills. There I finally got going. So yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. But the bike is really good fun, and that was good. A chance for me to just give it a bunch of stick and carry on, which was quite good. I really enjoyed this, and I can see myself having one of these to use as a cruiser, like on long trips and things like that. It will never replace my motorcycle, ever. It's just not going to happen. I really had a great time on this machine. It'll never replace my motorcycle, but I had a fantastic time on it. Great touring machine. Really great. Like I said before, you can ride all day. And once you get used to it, you could get quite good at some corners and things like that. And but I was like I said before, it's not a sport bike, it's a cruiser. It's a touring machine, which is fantastic. It's not cheap. It's this model itself with 16,000 kilometers on it, or almost 17,000, is $17,000 New Zealand dollars. So it's not cheap. The one he is on with the semi-automatic, the sportier one, is about 10,000 more. So that's about 26,000. And that's a demo model, so it's got quite a few less Ks on it than the one I'm riding. But it was great fun. I really enjoyed it. So what I'll do is I'll just shut up. I'll put some music on, you can sit here and enjoy yourselves. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, but it was a really good one, and I really enjoyed the ride today. It was great. It was a bit disappointing that I couldn't bring it back up to my wife for her to try in Waikanae. But there was a person who called up while I was out and wanted to come see this specific one, so I wasn't able to take it away for a few hours, and bring it back up to Waikanae, which I really would have loved to have had it to myself for an hour, the hour ride that it takes to get it to my place, let her have a bit of a play, and then bring it back. I really would have loved that, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be today. But so that's it for me for today, and enjoy the video, enjoy the music, and we'll see you next time with a proper video blog. And like I said, have any questions, put them down in the comments down below, and let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.